John Warren McGuinness MBE, born 16 April 1972, is an English motorcycle road racer, best known as a specialist at the Isle of Man TT, where he has won 23 races and sits third in the all-time win list, behind Michael Dunlop and Joey Dunlop. He and Mike Hailwood hold the record for the most senior TT wins, 7. Until early 2017, McGuinness had a long association with Honda machines, having factory support in road races like the Isle of Man TT, the Northwest 200, and the Macau Grand Prix, and also on the short tracks in the British Superstock and Supersport series. In May 2017, McGuinness suffered serious injuries during practice for a race in Northern Ireland, ending his race participation for the remainder of the season. The accident occurred shortly after the release of his book. In January 2018, McGuinness announced his intended return as a TT rider, but had not sufficiently recovered to compete, and in April announced that a setback had prevented any competitive riding. He was able to complete a parade lap of the TT circuit on a Norton SG4 during the June 2018 event, but returned in August to win the 2018 Classic TT on the 500cc Patten. In May-June 2019, McGuinness returned to the TT races, riding a large-capacity Norton without success, but again renewed his association with smaller-capacity Hondas, finishing in places 15 and 17 in the two Supersport 600 races, second place in the TT0 electric race, and another win in August's Classic TT, part of the Manx Grand Prix race weeks. In 2013, a left-hand bend on the Snaefell mountain course used for the TT races before the top of Barragero on the main A3 road was named McGuinness's in recognition of his wins, together with Dave Molyneux, who was similarly honored. McGuinness was part of a multi-rider motorcycle endurance racing team called Honda TT Legends. In April 2016, the RAC announced McGuinness as recipient of the Seagrave Trophy for 2015. Early life: McGuinness was born and raised in Morecambe, Lancashire. He started competing in motocross at around 7 and continued until his teens. He withdrew from what was supposed to be his first race a few seconds before the start, due to anxiety. His first experience of motorcycle road racing was in 1982, at age 10, with his father, who was competing in the Derby races in the Isle of Man. His father owned a motorcycle repair shop, but advised John to train as a bricklayer. Graduating in 1990, the resultant recession forced him into cockle fishing with his future father-in-law. McGuinness's first race on tarmac was a club road race at Aintree in 1990, at age 18. Isle of Man TT. McGuinness's first Isle of Man TT race was in 1996, on a Honda RS 250R, finishing 15th. He took his first win in the lightweight 250cc race 3 years later, the year he also became British 250 champion. 2006 TT. 2006 proved to be the best ever for McGuinness. He won 3 races, Senior, Superbike, and Supersport, and he lowered the outright lap record 4 times during the festival. This all started in the TT Superbike race on 3rd June, recording 1742.53 from a standing start, then 1741.71 on the second lap. His record lap stood at 127.933 miles per hour to take in the 37.73 miles of the mountain course, before another record-breaking performance in the senior TT race on 9 June. John set a time of 1739.95 from a standing start, already 1.76 seconds faster than a racing lap, and then blitzed the course in 1729.26, 10.69 seconds faster than his opening lap, and at an average speed of 129.451 miles per hour. 2007 McGuinness at the start of the 2007 Senior TT, the race in which he became the first rider to lap the Snaefell mountain course at over 130 miles per hour in race conditions. TT 2007 was also a great year, with McGuinness taking wins in the Superbike TT and the Senior TT, with lap and race records in both. The senior lap record of 1721.99, averaging 130.354 miles per hour. This did not beat the outright lap record, but it was the first to break the 130 miles per hour barrier. 2008. The 2008 Isle of Man TT saw McGuinness struggle with reliability problems with his bikes, but did manage to pick up his 14th career win on the island, in the Senior TT. This win moved him alongside Mike Hailwood as the joint second-placed rider with most wins. 2009, McGuinness surpassed Hailwood's mark during the rain-delayed opening race of the 2009 Isle of Man TT on 8 June 2009. After Cameron Donald unofficially lapped the course at over 131 miles per hour during practice, McGuinness broke the outright lap record by 0.7 seconds, taking the lap record to 17:21.29 or 130.442 miles per hour. McGuinness held off teammate Steve Plater by 18.11 seconds to record victory number 15. That was his only win and podium of the week. However, he did finish the week with a new outright lap record, and the fastest lap ever recorded with a 17:12.30 or 131.578 miles per hour lap on the second lap of the senior TT. A broken chain cost him a runaway victory, as Plater took his second career TT win. McGuinness also finished on the podium at the Macau Grand Prix. McGuinness also contested the British Superstock Championship, taking victory at Croft after his teammate Steve Brogan and champion Alistair Seeley tangled in the final corner. This was his first short-circuit race win since 2001 in the British Supersport Series, which he finished in third place overall. 2010. McGuinness during practice for the 2010 Isle of Man TT. McGuinness was confirmed as part of the HM Plant Honda team for the Northwest 200 and Isle of Man TT events. Also, he is confirmed with Paget's Motorcycles, Paget's Grand Prix. Entered in the British Superstock Championship alongside new teammates Glenn Richards and Ian Hutchinson, road racing events. At the 2010 Northwest 200 meeting, McGuinness took his fifth win around the 8.9-mile circuit, when he took victory in the Superbike race, and he followed this up with third in the feature race behind Alistair Seeley and Stuart Easton. He also took fifth and sixth in the two Supersport races and ninth in the Superstock. 2011, McGuinness secured his 16th TT success by winning the 6-lap Superbike TT in perfect conditions. The Honda rider from England came home 56 seconds ahead of runner-up Cameron Donald with Gary Johnson third. Keith Amor, Ballymoney's Michael Dunlop, and Dan Stewart completed the top 6 leaderboard in the TT opener. New Zealander Bruce Anstey led for part of the race, but retired on lap 3 after setting the fastest lap of the race at 131.05 miles per hour. At the end of lap 1, McGuinness led by 0.5 seconds from Anstey, with Johnson third and Guy Martin fourth. Anstey assumed the lead after the second circuit, thanks to his lap at over 131 miles per hour, with Martin up to third and Johnson fourth. A quick pit stop by McGuinness saw him move into the lead again, and then Anstey retired his Paget's Honda at Quarry Bends. Morecambe man McGuinness led Martin by 19 seconds after lap 3 and lap 4. McGuinness then went on to finish fifth in the Supersport TT Race 1 and scored second places in both the Supersport TT Race 2 and Superstock TT Race before claiming his 17th TT win in the Senior TT. 2012. McGuinness was again representing the Honda Spearhead at the 2012 TT. During the practice week, times were close between the various favored entrants, but McGuinness topped the practice leaderboard in the Superbike class, initially lying second behind Cameron Donald by 0.2 of a second at the end of the opening lap in the Superbike race. McGuinness brought all his experience to bear over the second lap to lead the race by 2.16 seconds following the pit stop at the end of lap 2. By the end of the third lap, the lead had increased to 6.30 seconds. McGuinness continued his commanding performance throughout the remainder of the race to clinch victory by 14.86 seconds by the end of the 6 laps. McGuinness was congratulated on his Superbike triumph by his close friend, Mark Webber. The Superstock TT had been until 2012 one of the few classes which had eluded McGuinness. However, aboard the Paget's Honda Fireblade, McGuinness rode what was widely regarded as an imperious performance to clinch his initial win in the class and to raise his overall tally to 19 wins. McGuinness then recorded a respectable 4th place in the first Supersport race, which he then followed up with 5th place in the second race in the Supersport class. 2013. In 2013, McGuinness won the 6-lap Senior TT, the final race of the event. It was his 6th victory in the Senior TT, one short of the record of 7 victories held by Mike Hailwood. He also set the outright 1-lap record for the mountain course, 131.671 miles per hour, in the final lap of the Superbike race, in which he finished third during a week dominated by Ulsterman Michael Dunlop's 4 wins, reminiscent of Ian Hutchinson's 5 wins of 2010. TT0 2012 also saw McGuinness make his debut in the TT0 class. The involvement of McGuinness, together with that of Mugen, was seen as a clear indication of the rising profile of a class of racing still in its infancy. Riding the Mugen Motorsports experimental machine, McGuinness recorded a second place behind Michael Rutter on the MotoSiege. 2013 again saw the same race result, with McGuinness second to winner Rutter, both riding similar machines to previously. 2014, a battered McGuinness who suffered a motocross accident weeks before the start of the road racing season, injuring his right wrist badly, and also suffered liver and other minor injuries. John struggled at his first international road racing meeting of the year, the Northwest 200, and also posted disappointing results at the 2014 Isle of Man TT. On 4th of June, John in Paget's Racing announced he had withdrawn from the second Supersport race, but still raced the TT0 class, and won it with an enormous lap record, 117.366 mph, beating the current sidecar lap record and came only 1.8 seconds shy to the current lightweight 650cc Super Twin 1 lap record. 2017 accident. In May 2017, McGuinness suffered serious injuries during practice for the Superbike race at the Northwest 200 event in Northern Ireland, causing broken vertebrae, ribs, and compound fractures to his right lower leg bones, requiring surgeons to remove 50 mm 2.0 in and needing an external fixator cage to grow new bone. McGuinness used a spanner to regularly adjust the cage, creating a 1 mm gap across which the new bone growth occurs. In July 2017, Honda Racing, a British business based in Louth, Lincolnshire, which provided the new model Honda Fireblade under early development, confirmed the accident was caused by an electronics fault in the special race kit when the engine unexpectedly accelerated. During an interview in late August 2017, McGuinness confirmed his treatment would be ongoing until early 2018, and that he was unsure if he would have the physical capability or confidence to race 1000cc superbikes again, but he did not discount the possibility of riding in the smaller Super Twin, electric, and classic categories. In January 2018, McGuinness announced his intended return as a TT rider with Norton Motorcycles as teammate to Josh Brooks. But his recovery was not complete, and in April announced via social media that he had suffered a setback that prevented any competitive riding. He was able to complete a parade lap of the TT circuit on a Norton SG4 during the June 2018 event, but returned in August to win the 2018 Classic TT on the 500cc Peyton. In May-June 2019, McGuinness made a return to the TT races, riding Nortons in both junior and large capacity races, without success, but again renewed his association with Paget's Hondas, finishing in places 15 and 17 for the 2 Supersport 600 races, and second place in the TT0 electric race with a Honda Mugen. In August, he won the Classic TT on a Peyton. 2022, after the cancellation of the 2020 and 2021 events due to the COVID-19 pandemic, McGuinness next competed at the TT in 2022. He made his 100th TT start in the Superbike race, finishing 5th. Personal life. McGuinness and wife Becky have 2 children. They have been together since John was 16. Living in Morecambe, he was given the freedom of the town in 2007. His first book, an autobiography entitled Built for Speed, was released in May 2017. In July 2017, McGuinness was awarded an honorary fellowship from Myerscough College in Preston for his achievements in motorcycling. He attended the ceremony despite still recuperating from his extensive injuries as a result of his major crash 2 months previously. McGuinness was appointed member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE, in the 2021 New Year Honours for services to motorcycle racing.